hear from different voices. I don't want to just hear from people that agree with me. We're about to dive into some even deeper topics. Ask a Brother Podcast.
Ask a Brother Podcast.
Welcome to another episode of Ask a Brother Podcast. I'm your host, Jeff St. James. You know, the revolution is going to be because of us.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a special announcement. Thanks to Chicago's very own DJ the Money Coach, we're celebrating the sponsorship for Ask a Brother Podcast and the grand opening of our luxurious resort in Zanzibar, Tanzania. DJ's giving away an incredible grand prize in March, a 7-day, 6-night stay in paradise, complete with ground transportation, incredible excursions, your own personal chef on the white sand beaches, and breathtaking sunsets. All you have to do is text BROTHA, B-R-O-T-H-A, to 972-640-9572. Or scan the QR code for your chance to win. Pack your bags and we will see you in paradise. Again, text BROTHA, B-R-O-T-H-A, to 972-640-9572.
Let's go, let's go, let's go. Yes, sir. Yeah. Come on, come on, come on. If you are in the chat, let me know that you are in the building. Please make sure that you comment, like, share, subscribe to this channel, and absolutely, please become a member if you are not. The membership is only $2.99 to be a member to support this brand and channel. We have so many quick fire announcements that's happening, but shout out to our brand new sponsor, as many of you just saw, from Pom Pom Suites in Zanzibar, and shout out to DJ, the Money Coach, the Chicago man himself. Listen, y'all, I highly recommend that you guys check out their stuff. We're going to be posting the links pretty soon. As soon as this live is over, we're going to make sure it's in the chat and also in the description of this video, as well as on our channel bio at the end of this live. So listen, sorry, y'all. Listen, y'all, the reality is your boy is back after a couple-day hiatus, just kind of getting ready for what's coming. And I'm telling you guys, we got so many fire episodes, concepts, interviews, a bunch of things is popping and coming. And I'm absolutely excited. And already somebody is now a member. So appreciate you, Lee Turner, for being a member for the next month or so. So everybody, if you're watching this, if you have not done so, please make sure that you sign up to be a member of our particular channels, especially Ask a Brother Podcast, myself. And a couple things real quick. So one, just a reminder, guys, for that initial sponsorship, Pom Pom Suites in Zanzibar and the DJ, the Money Coach. Feel free to check them out. Like I said, I will be posting the links later throughout the show as well. And again, text BROTHA or BROTHA to 972-640-9572, and you'll get a chance to win a free trip on the house on them. So again, feel free to check it out. But number two, shout out to our subscribers. 45,531 subscribers are in the building on this channel. Yes, sir. So thank you to the subscribers. We're almost teetering on my big picture goal, which was originally 50,000 for this year. We've been climbing, so you guys are helping. And I always say, man, if y'all love this content, if y'all enjoy the interviews, if y'all enjoy the back and forth, a lot of the collabs that I'm doing and building, just support in the ways that you feel that you can. If you want to be a member, shout out to you. If you want to hit them super chats, which I see Lee Turner has already done with $2. Appreciate you, good sir, for that. Absolutely. So thank you for the $2. And guys, if you, like I said before, man, just spread the word. Whenever you see us go live, always try to send it to 2, 3, 4, even 5 people. And that's what helps us with the algorithm for sure. So last but not least, our members and our groups that we have going on. In regards to our groups, we have our men's self-improvement group that I literally just finished about 10 minutes ago. We just closed out. We do that on Tuesdays at 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. This group is dope. I'm telling y'all, I may even invite some of the guys to come on. We're actually building. We're actually making progress. We have fitness goals. We have career goals. Guys within the group are starting to network together and building things that they used to dream about that they couldn't even build and do on their own. We're all collaborating and starting to work together. I'm super excited about what this group is turning into. And then also on Mondays, we have our movie/book club with Mr. Philosophical himself. Listen, y'all, all I'm going to say is spread the word for those who are members. Who was in that? Mrs. Plum, Miss Couture. Some of our admins are actually part of that group, and it is absolutely fun. It is fire. And I tell y'all, man, we've only done 2 weeks of that group so far, and I'm already liking and loving it. The feedback's been phenomenal. We're super excited about what this group is starting to turn into. So, real quick, y'all, I'm going to eyeball real quick to see who's in the building. Hey, Mrs. Smell the Roses hitting us with the banger 1999. Thank you, madam. Thank you, madam, for looking out and always showing love to the Ask a Brother team and family for sure. The Real Books is in the building. Who else we got? Who else we got? Olua one. Make sure y'all hit that like button if you haven't done so. Appreciate you, Olua, for the lookout. Grits and Bacon 05. Yeah, man. Things are happening. And Doug MPA. The GOAT is in the building. But listen, y'all, before I even get to any more chats or any more comments, it's time for me to introduce tonight's next co-host. I have been chasing, I have been fighting, I have been scratching, I have been begging, trying to get this woman on because from the time that I've come across her channel and I catch her lives, I look at her clips, she be hitting it home. She's highly entertaining. I've already been on a panel with her. Tonight's particular co-host, please, please, please help me welcome to the stage none other than Miss Red Talk Anna. What's going on, madam?
Hey, how y'all doing?
Okay. Welcome. So for starters, how are you?
I am doing great. I'm glad I made it. Look, had a couple difficulties, but I'm on here. I'm on par. How y'all doing?
Yeah. My a lot of my people in my chat, they've been typing you up and saying, when you gonna get her on? I said, we gotta ask and wait for people's schedules to line up. Like I can't just say get on the channel. So
Look, I'm here.
Yeah. I appreciate you coming through. So everybody that's on my side, if you have not followed her content, if you're not familiar with her brand, hop over real quick and make sure you subscribe to her channel and make sure you show her channel and her content some love. But let's get into today's particular topic. So today's topic is why do women turn on each other when accountability enters the room? Now, before I play any clips or say anything as a guy, what's your initial thoughts about this topic, and do you even think that it's relevant?
Oh, it's definitely relevant. It's definitely, I this is my perspective of it. Women don't like telling other women when they're wrong, and they think if they do tell them, they think that they're, as if it's a bad thing. So this is where we're at now. That's why I call a lot of the women the untouchable, especially the modern women.
Ooh,
Yeah, because you're not allowed to say it.
Oh my God. Listen, y'all, I'm telling you right now, if you are not subscribed to Red Talk Anna, she ain't gonna hold nothing back. And I like what you said. You're saying that a lot of ladies carry themselves emotionally as if they're untouchable, where nobody gets to say anything, but especially other women.
Yep, you're not allowed to say nothing. And this is why women are allowed to do a lot of different things, even if it's wrong, if it's on the wrong path, and the women just okay it. This is why we have a lot of modern women. Sorry, but we got women that's 300 pounds. And what do you see all on their comments? You look good, go queen.
Hold on. We ain't gonna skip over what you just said. It's like it doesn't matter how she presents herself, carries herself, or how she looks. There's always going to be women that's willing to lie to her. Why? Like, what's the point? Like, what is? Because I have what I did some research. I took some notes. Why do you think a lot of women do that?
I think they think that it's part of the girl code. I think they think if they tell them that don't look good, you shouldn't be doing that. I honestly think that they think that that's wrong to say you should not have on them shorts. You should not have on that dress.
Yeah, listen, I don't know what it is, because with guys, I've noticed a lot of guys, if they're really your friends, they'll tell you the truth often in jokes. Where you right, they'll come at you about your hairstyle, your haircut, what you wearing, and they're like, "What you doing wearing that?" And they'll flame you to where they flame you and joke on you enough till you get it right, and they're doing it in love. And I'm like, what is the version of that for a lot of ladies who are struggling with like this endless loop of, if somebody tells me something I don't want to hear, we got to lash out at each other, or so and so's a hater, or they're not my friend anymore. And the reason why I thought that this particular topic, and you would be a great co-host for this, I think this is going to be a great episode tonight, is because I noticed two things in the last 2 weeks that kind of stood out to me. The first was Dr. Cheyenne Bryant. Now, for those who are in the chat, everybody knows how I feel about Dr. Cheyenne Bryant. I'm sure she may not even know I exist, but B, she may not be a big fan of mine either. And a lot of times when I've critiqued her, it hasn't usually often been about what she's saying out her mouth. It was usually about how she's dressing and the image that that creates for the Black women, right, and Black women in general. So, as a professional, as a woman with her academic background, her professionalism, I get frustrated when I feel like, she's double dipping and potentially carrying an image that she doesn't need to try to you're known, you're out there, you're successful. That's not something you need to do. But with her, she's been seen for a long time since she's been out in this space publicly as a girl's girl, where whenever she get these guys on the platforms, or even she come on these guys' platform, she be sticking it to these guys, Nick Cannon, Cam Newton, Shannon. It doesn't matter. She's going to let men know what they need to improve on and how they're failing being as leaders, as fathers, as husbands, etc. Sometimes I think a lot of people felt like she really didn't have that same type of energy and smoke for the ladies. Well, I got a clip for everybody. And then before I say anything, I'm going to rock with you first and see what your reaction is. And this is in relation to her being asked a question about who's more delusional currently in the dating market. So before I play that real quick, y'all, if y'all are in the building, please make sure that you're subscribed to our platforms. Make sure that you like this video. And oh, hold on, what I will not do is skip over the damn super chats. So Lee Turner, appreciate you for the $2. Mrs. Smell the Roses that already gave us the banger to start the show off right. So thank you, madam, for that. And then we had S Jamar 99. Appreciate you, sir, for the $9.99. Young brother from Houston, learning from you. Need to keep going, G. Yeah, man, I appreciate it. I'm motivated. I'm locked in. I got people like Anna working with me. So, they're going to hold me accountable and make sure I keep pumping out this type of good work. And then last but not least, Doug MPA, the GOAT. Thanks for all you do in this space. The weight you have to bear going against the Black sisterhood has to be a lot sometimes. Do you think Black women can or will ever change their modern ways? What will it take? I'm going to say yes, but never all of them. It'll never be all of any group. That all men won't change, all women won't change. But I wouldn't have started this if I genuinely didn't believe that people can change. I wouldn't be a therapist if I haven't seen people change and do good work. So I hope that over time, as we do these type of content, do these type of episodes, more and more people will wake up and realize, what it is they may need to change. All right. So what did I say was Dr. Cheyenne Bryant? So let's watch this, and then we'll see what your thoughts are to start us off.
Right now, men or women?
Oh, that's a great question.
Yeah.
Women, y'all know I stand on a mountaintop for you, especially Black women. But I gotta say this. I meet better men nowadays than I meet women.
Wow.
And that's just the truth. There are so many men nowadays who are ready to be married, who are ready to be family men, who are standing on principles, who are, really into and relational with the women that they're dating.
Right.
And I meet a lot of women who want to play the field, who want to be, more of we have womanizers, but we do have women who are manizers. And when you start to look at women who want a man to just perform, right, which goes into the same field as gold digging, that's a woman who is considered a manizer. And unfortunately, I meet a lot more, men who are like entirely.
Okay. So kind of covering that a little bit. Initial thoughts about Dr. Cheyenne Bryant saying that, and then also the things that we're seeing on the screen in terms of some of the feedback that she started to get. A, did you see this clip before this? And then B, what you think?
I honestly think that she is backpedaling. I think that she says wherever the crowd wants her to go. So it depends on what podcast she's on. That's where she's going to flow to.
Hold on, y'all, because Red Talk Anna is claiming that maybe this might not be quite as it seems. So you're saying that this is more of a trendy thing going on right now with her.
She's trending. So I think she's going to answer whichever podcast she's on. She knew that when she was on Cam Newton, she knew exactly which questions to ask. She knew exactly where to go with that. If she goes over to even some of the women podcasts that might be, off the chain, she's going to go with them. I think she's going to go with whatever podcast. She's going to go from hot to cold.
Mm-hmm. Now, when we look at some of the comments that's on here, I'm going to read these off, but I want you to tell me what your thoughts are about this stuff, because I'm not surprised by what I see. So the first lady says, a male-centered woman will always and forever be a pick-me. This lady, a pick-me is waiting to be picked. The funny thing is, men don't really want a pick-me. They overstep them because these ladies acquiesce, cater, and coddle them. Those same men try to break women who aren't really wanting to be picked. Woo, woo. Reality in a glass with a straw. Next person. She wants to be picked and is tired of showcasing as a strong single woman. Nothing wrong with it, but no need to falsify, because men even state they were not created to be monogamous. Remember what she chose to wear at the Jeezy concert? Wore a hunter green lingerie set to try and match his blazer. And then the next person, pick me, please, pretty, please, pick all is all I heard. And then last but not least, I knew Dr. Bryant was too good to be true. We got to start watching her now. And when one's popularity is tied to men and women, you will get disingenuous moments like this. There's so many different things that they've said. What stood out to you, and why is this not surprising?
It's not surprising, even with the word pick me. I mean, who doesn't want to be picked? I will say that word is right there where somebody starts losing weight and they go, you getting skinny, you look little because everybody else is big. I mean, we have started normalizing chaos. Like we are normalizing women wanting to be with men. Like, how is that a bad thing?
Crazy.
And as we see with Cheyenne Bryant, she was over there with a lady. So she already didn't switch teams. I mean, I don't even think she likes men. I don't think she is fond of them at all. So
I won't speak on her personal life any more than I already have previously in terms of that whole dynamic of who she be dating or not dating. But these type of comments, which, we'll delve into as we go over the course of the show, is going to be a consistent theme, where some of the things I noted were things like obviously calling her a pick-me. Even the last comment where they talked about how when one's popularity is tied to men and women, you will get disingenuous moments like this. This is a person that's basically stating that people who try to hold men and women accountable, when they're holding women accountable like this, it's going to be disingenuous. And I'm like, wait a minute. So there's no room for men or women to talk to both men and women and be accurate? It's got to be disingenuous. It can't be real. It can't be authentic. And I'm like, y'all, ladies, let's speak to Black women specifically, because I know Doug had mentioned that. If you have the lowest marital rates, ladies, if you have the lowest marital rates, and then when men say something, and when people like Dr. Cheyenne Bryant, who you loved, whose credentials you wasn't questioning, who you wasn't calling to pick me before this moment, why is it that every time a man or woman tells y'all something, these are the go-tos? These are the go-tos. It's like, you said it earlier. What is it that the women who are single and don't want to be, do y'all actually not want to be single? Do y'all actually want men? Or do you just want the status of being with a man without having to do or change anything to make that happen? Like,
sometimes I think it's just the status they want. I think they want, they always talk about traditional marriages or traditional men. They only want the side that's going to benefit them a lot of times. And that's what you're seeing. Because even with them calling Cheyenne Bryant a pick-me, right? Because she's saying something about it. She's saying like she's meeting more men that are better friends than women are, right? They went off on her about that, but they didn't care about her when she had on that lace jumpsuit she had on.
All the outrage of the women, again, almost dressed completely naked, radio silence from these types of women, her fans, her biggest supporters. She says that a lot of women have delusional standards in the dating market, and that there's actually a lot of men that apparently have a little bit more realistic standards of what they're looking for. I'm done with her. She's a this and that. And I'm like, this is what we're talking about. This is what we've been talking about. So all you people, all you content creators, all you defenders of the people that's on the side that Dr. Cheyenne Bryant apparently was a part of, when she says something that we've all been saying, red pill spaces, man-feared spaces, just men who just got balls to talk about this stuff, say out loud something very similar, y'all will do entire 2, 3, 4 video reactions over us saying the exact same thing. But when we said it, we're misogynists. We hate women. We don't respect women. We're demonizing women. But when the woman y'all champion says the exact same thing, now we're going to watch you. Because was it what we were saying, or was it who was saying it? That's what I'm going to be watching to be, and especially the male content creators that love jumping up at these moments to defend Dr. Cheyenne Bryant and other people. I'm very interested to see if they're going to cover her the way they've covered me and all these other men and people like you in this space. So this is interesting. And I'm going to start with what I think accountability is and why we're watching and seeing these type of examples, this type of stuff on the screen. Ladies, let's start with what accountability is not. Accountability is not shaming, despite popular belief. Accountability does not equal misogyny. I know y'all feel that way. And accountability actually means you as the person needing to just take ownership for your choices and the results and outcomes from those choices. That's accountability. It's not shaming necessarily, although I think we're at a point where we probably need it. It doesn't even have to be necessarily misogynistic. Accountability just simply means taking ownership for your choices and the outcomes and results that come from those choices. That's accountability. What you think about that definition?
And that's, you're right. A lot of women, when they hear accountability, they look at it as, they get really offensive. They looking at it as you're trying to like you're trying to ridicule them.
Mm-hmm.
They don't understand everybody needs to take accountability. But for some reason, on the untouchable side, they fire back.
Mm-hmm.
They fire back. It doesn't matter what it is. It doesn't matter what statistics we say. It doesn't matter what facts we prove. They don't care. They're going off of pure emotion.
Yeah. I what I've learned is, both as a therapist way before I got to this content stuff, and even now, which is way worse. Basically what they're seeing is your call to personal responsibility, they're hearing and receiving as a personal attack. That's how it works from a psychology standpoint, from even down to the morality of why they react so poorly to this stuff. When Dr. Cheyenne Bryant, bro, if Kendra G can't tell y'all nothing, if Dr. Cheyenne Bryant can't tell y'all nothing, we're about to play female coaches, life coaches, matchmakers. There's something going on, and I think there's a small segment of women that's starting to wake up or have been woken up like you, and then there's a lot of ladies that they've been shown and taught between the panderers, the female comment, the female what's it called, content creators that's just trying to build these huge markets of saying like, ladies, you ain't got to change nothing, the right man will this, and the men who's also saying the same thing. We got to start with like, y'all, it's not a personal attack. It really isn't. Now, to be fair, there are men that use the need for accountability, and there are women who use the opportunity when they see something's wrong as a reason to attack someone. That happens. That's real. But you can't conflate and say that everybody that says something now is bullying and everybody is now trying to personally attack you. I'm like, at some level, y'all, we got to acknowledge that, like, ladies, I'm going to say this. If you can't listen to a woman who is a professional say something and reevaluate whether or not A, it's true, and if there's something you just need to tweak or kind of adjust in. How are you showing up in relationships with men? Because I've been told the sisterhood exists, right? So if the sisterhood exists and women can't tell you the truth about what you're wearing, about how you're carrying yourself, about the types of men you're surrounding yourself with, if they can't say anything, imagine the version of you experientially with the men that's trying to do life with you and live with you. We gonna get to it next. So real quick, I see there's a bunch of people that's currently pulling up in the chat. We're actually almost clearing close to 262 plus people, and I know we don't have 262 likes on Ask a Brother side for sure. So guys, if you haven't, please make sure that you subscribe to Red Talk Anna. Please make sure you subscribe to Ask a Brother if you haven't done so, and like these particular video streams. And again, feel free to become members if you haven't done so. And then I'm going to just click through a couple of the quick super chats that I see that just recently pulled in. We have the Real Sync One, $9.99. Keep up the great work, and we support you, brother. Appreciate you for sure. Micah Malice Leon, $2. Benevolent Patriarchy by Feminist Specification. Appreciate you, brother, for that for sure. And then also Static Shock, the Jedi's Avenger, $5. My question is, why does the term pick me attribute to Black women, but every other race they are just good women, wife material? Yeah, man, the language and things that we're using that kind of keeps us stuck and trapped in this hole is absolutely out of control. And I hope that as we catch it, as we sense it, as we get better, and especially our ladies that's watching this type of stuff, ladies, run. When you start hearing all the terms and new talking points that's designed to kind of keep you unattractive, to make any term that modern women are randomly pulling out of thin air to use to control you and your behavior as it relates to men, 9 times out of 10, it's designed to make you less attractive to men. So if you don't care about what men think, keep listening to these ladies. But if they're calling you a pick me, there's a chance you're doing something right. At this point, that's how it comes off. And then last but not least, trading with J Ride 6931. Appreciate you for the $10. Just showing support. These women should be tired of proving us right. Yeah. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. So listen, y'all, if y'all in the building, please make sure you comment, share, like, send it 2, 3, 4, even 5 people to let them know. Let's see if we can get this number to over 300 people watching concurrently here on my end. So I did mention female coaches, and this is a couple ladies. We're going to watch a couple quick ones back to back. And then I can't wait to see what your thoughts are about some of these. So we're going to start with Miss Priscilla first.
There is a pattern. Every woman coach who seeks to help women, leader, there is a pattern. Every woman coach who seeks out to help women, leader, or teacher or coach who focuses on women, they all quit on women. There's a reason for that, and that ain't got nothing to do with men. That got everything to do with the women. More than anybody, it's the women who want to stay where they at. Women are the upholders and the facilitators of the patriarchy that they complain about.
At the beginning of this year, I stopped matchmaking. And the reason I stopped matchmaking is because I literally was I can't handle female clients. The average woman doesn't really want just a good man. She doesn't want a husband. What she's really wanting are these standards or ideas that she has of what a man is supposed to be.
On why I'm leaving this side of it, because the expectations are so unrealistic, because you can't have expectations like that and no preparation. You don't even study men. Like, how do you want a man and you don't study even how to talk to a man?
You women don't have any problems expressing yourself when it's something negative to a male. But let a woman come up here and we have to have a real talk moment. All of a sudden, I don't like this show because I feel low. You don't like the show because your ass don't want to take direct criticism. You ain't going to get a man.
Essentially said that I am not ready for her type of services because I have too much work to do. My walls are too high and I'm not ready for a long-term committed relationship at the ripe age of 38, where I've been in therapy for 10 plus years. She also said that I need to soften a little bit. And men like a softer woman. Essentially, I spent $350 to meet with this woman, have her tell me I am not worthy of love as I am, but the fact that I need to change in order to be worthy of love and partnership. We shouldn't be pushing on these narratives that people are not worthy as they are, and essentially telling women that the type of woman they are isn't worthy of love. That is a narrative that should not be given to anyone, or it is dangerous commentary, and the fact that she said this to my face had some audacity.
Anna? Thoughts?
Now
views?
you already know. We're gonna start with the first one, okay?
Okay.
That info that this woman spreads out, it don't even make no sense. This woman does not even like men, and she jumps back and forth. She jumps from one side to the other. Remember, at first she was going against the men. She was saying men are incapable of love and this and that. Then all of a sudden, now she jumped over to then she like the women. It's the women. I don't trust nobody that got hair stuck to their hat when they put the hat on.
Oh, we started it off right. Hold on now. You said what?
I don't stuck no woman that can have a New York Yankees hat on with the hair stuck on it, okay?
Oh no. Listen, y'all, please make sure that you subscribe to Red Talk Anna. And it's true, I've seen her do the back and forth, deciding, but sticking with what she actually said this go around. She too is saying something about how so many of these ladies are being like, it's my job to help you in life and in relationships, and y'all fighting against us. And I'm like, the amount of female coaches and life coaches and relationship experts that are saying, look at Miss Maggie, Anita from Better Love Movement. These women have been coming on my platform and I've been asking them numbers based on your experience. Their ranges have been consistently saying 70 to 80% of women are not compatible for long-term commitment in relationships. And I'm like, I read the comments and the ladies hear that. And I understand how jarring that is. But if whether you think that applies to you or not, the curiosity to just say, why do you think that? They might find out a whole host of things that they're like, oh my God, that's what's going on. But they don't. They end up treating these women exactly and respecting to them the exact same way they did with Dr. Cheyenne Bryant. I don't get it. I don't understand it.
And the matchmakers, they wasn't lying when they were talking about the unrealistic expectations. All the women, they want ghosts from power. They want Superman with Bill Gates' money. He's gonna have to be 6'5". He's gonna have to be. They want illusions. They want illusions, like I always say. So I can understand how them matchmakers, you probably would quit. You probably would quit, or you wouldn't matchmake for women anymore, because the things that they want doesn't exist. And then the things that they want, they're not going to do the things to get it.
They're not going to do the things for the men that they say they want. And you saw the last lady. Where's she at? This one.
Essentially said,
she's so in her head about, what's wrong with the matchmaker. How dare she say I need to change things? Yeah. If you plan on doing life with another person, you can't just think about you. And I'm like, she is stunned with the idea that there's things that you have to adjust and change in order to do life with somebody outside of yourself. And I'm like, what was she like on dates and in relationships if this is how she's showing up with a matchmaker who's paid to help you, and you're rejecting her? Can you imagine an argument with her on a random Tuesday after work? My God. Oh my God.
But think about it. She's never been told the truth. A lot of women have not been told the truth. They haven't. They've only been coddled. They've only been, if they 300 pounds, they're like, oh, girl, you still look good. If they break up with every man It's okay. He's a bum. Like if they've never been told the truth.
Oh no. Oh no. So real quick, I had to go back up to the super chat because Doug MPA, he said this question was actually for you. He said the weight you have to bear going against the Black sisterhood has to be a lot sometimes. Do you, Anna, think Black women can or will ever change their modern ways, or what will it take?
You know, I will say this. I don't think a lot of them are going to change. I think the ones that do want to change, they will. But the majority of them, they don't. It's like a button is in them and it's turned off to where they can't understand logic. It has to be. So when and they do, they come from my neck, and that's okay. That's okay. I'm used to it. But what I'm realizing is it doesn't matter how hard they fall. Even right now, they're falling down the stairs. How many more stairs they gotta fall down?
I don't get it. I don't understand it in the sense of why it's so difficult. But one of the key core things that I wanted to kind of discuss with you was some of the core reasons that I think women turn on each other. And I actually think it's a lot of times it's related to identity protection. Some of the things that I kind of noted was when women admit fault publicly, for them, they can interpret that or at least experience it as a form of like a loss of status, just being considered weak, not being a good feminist, or even undermining the collective narrative when it comes to women don't point out other women's flaws publicly. That's a thing. And I'm like, when that happens, basically what's happening is group identity is overriding individual truth. So even when you know she's wrong, when you know she's in the wrong, it's better to ride with the group and pretend that we're not seeing what we're all seeing than to acknowledge the individual truth of shorty's in error. So what ends up happening is you'll have people like Cardi B, who's a part of the sisterhood, who can say and do and act however she want. Last week, she had a video playing something down there on the stage, right? But if somebody that now is not considered a part of the sisterhood steps out like Nicki Minaj, now y'all got all this smoke for her. Who's damaging the image of women and Black women more? Nicki Minaj today on stages around people that maybe y'all don't like politically, or the way in which these women were carrying themselves on stage, wearing almost nothing, doing whatever they want, but y'all say nothing. We're telling you, Anna's telling y'all, you've been brainwashed to ignore logic, reason, tact, class, standards. You've been brainwashed to either downplay or see all of the expectations for those things as a form of shame, as a form of attack. And I'm like, the status that you have by co-signing debauchery and evil and viciousness and nastiness, I would prefer that you lose that status. Listen, I'm not going to speak on Anna's politics. Everybody who's following this maybe is aware of my politics. I'm an independent. I have some progressive leanings, some conservative leanings. There's certain things I think Donald Trump has done well with, certain things I think he hasn't. I'm a critic of Obama. I'm a critic of every political whatever. But as a result, I'm called a sellout, a coon, house slave, all that stuff, right? If I'm reading books and I know that the people who aren't reading books and aren't studying communism and all this other stuff, the people that I know that aren't where I want to be, that aren't thinking the way I would like to think, and aren't reading and studying the way that I'm trying to and am doing, I don't want to fit in with them. So them calling me a name or me losing status with the majority of Black people at this point who think like, oh, I can have opinions about politics, but I don't have to read anything about political. Like, I don't care about their opinion. As a woman, if there's a bunch of women that don't have the lifestyles or relationships that you would admire and want and respect as it relates to being with a man, what they have to say about you and what they have to call you, y'all got to realize that's not a title and status worth clinging to. Anna, tell me I'm wrong.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. But you know, some people love following people off the cliff. And that's even with the politics, right? You're allowed to have your own opinion. You're allowed to like who you want to like, right? People are not aware of what's really going on, even when it comes to the politics. They don't know what they push in front of your face. So they want you to follow them Epstein files off the cliff.
Yeah.
Like, there's other stuff that's happening, but they don't realize that they will push certain things in front of your face so you can go follow something else.
The go along, get along crowd. And the worst part about it, and I've said it in previous streams and all the people's stuff, we celebrate the things we shouldn't. We ignore the things that are important, and we shame and attack the people who are pointing out like this is why, like, I can take it as a man. I can take people hating me. Everybody can think I'm a misogynist, but y'all are now doing this to each other. You have professional women. You have women that are smart, that are beautiful, that are women that's on y'all side that will say, hey, sis, we gotta, a little unrealistic with the 3 baby daddies and demanding a guy who ain't got no kids. And like, sis, you might have to make some compromises and y'all will lose your ish. And I'm like, what? I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get it. But like we said before, I think the starting point is this is heavily about identity protection. And when it happens, when you go into identity protection mode, when one woman calls out another woman, especially publicly, the one who's being called out, she sees and interprets it not as an act of love. She doesn't see it as an act of you caring. She sees it as an act of betrayal and public humiliation. So, in my mind, I'm like, well, if I see you as a threat, or I believe you betrayed me, why would I speak well to you? Why would I receive anything you got to offer? And I'm like, ladies, yes, it's true that there are people, men and women, that will try to point things out in a way to try to humiliate you and will try to hurt you. But every woman and every man that's saying these things can't all be, this is an act of betrayal and an attack and misogyny and internalized misogyny if Anna does it and misogyny if Jeff does it. Y'all, we got to start with a basic question for every woman that's watching this. And again, if you all are watching this right now, please make sure you're subscribed to our channels. Please make sure that you like this and send it to every girl, young girls, teenage girls, women, grown women that should have known better. Send it to every woman that you know. A, because we're not going to say nothing too crazy, so you can trust us. But B, because it's important for every single woman and every single female that's watching this to ask this simple question. Who is allowed publicly and privately to say something that you individually and that women collectively need to improve on? Who's allowed to? Is it a panderer? Is it the panderers, the men and women who almost never tell y'all what y'all need to hear, that always tell you what you want? So is it the people that never tell you what you need to hear? Are they the ones that's allowed to because they're never going to tell you? They're never going to say anything you don't like? The ones that's sitting on those stages and doing tours that's always giving the feminist version of events and always reframing it to make the guy look bad, that's the person you'll trust with telling you what you need to hear. They ain't going to say nothing. So, is it the pastor who you see every Sunday for church and pay up tithes and offering to, but then your life with how you moving with men reflects you don't listen to that pastor? Oh, okay. Oh, it's your mama who don't know about all these men you bringing around and don't find out who these men are until you let her know that you're pregnant by. Who is these people that exist that are allowed to talk to women and let them know there's things that they need to improve on, especially like the matchmaker situation, especially for them to understand that there are things about you that may be harming your chances in the dating market, and the options that you're left with is oftentimes a result of how you've been showing up. If women can't tell you nothing, if men can't say nothing, if you don't listen to pastors, who is allowed to tell women, and I'm going to say specifically, and I already know how it's going to be, who is allowed to tell Black women the truth? Anna, please answer that question for me.
Nobody.
Okay. Because see,
nobody.
How about this? People talk about qualifications. People talk about this, talk about that. all you ladies that only you have your list of people, channels, and pages that you subscribe to. Let's start with the women. If you have all these far left feminists, super progressive, pro women, whatever, hear me roar group that you follow, fine. I'm sure within those bubbles, there's things that they're saying that are good. There's things that they're saying that are helpful, may even be true. But if every single time any of them say something you don't like, y'all start turning into those ladies that commented. Actually, I'm going to pull it back up. Like the clip, like the ladies who did the comment with Dr. Cheyenne Bryant. If y'all start ending up like this again, where is it at? Let me remove this one. Remove and add. But if every single time any woman gets out of line and starts telling y'all things that maybe a lot of y'all are delusional. Maybe some of y'all do need to lose some weight. Maybe y'all do need to fix y'all attitude. Maybe some of y'all actually don't deserve a man. Maybe some of y'all need to go back to the man that you thought was good enough to give a child to. Instead, you've decided that every single time, Dr. Cheyenne Bryant was y'all Kevin Samuels. Nobody want to say it. Nobody want to own it. But y'all were treating her like she was untouchable. You didn't want to question her credentials. You didn't want to question her background. You didn't want to question whether or not she was living the lifestyle that she was telling everybody else and prescribing for everybody else. But the moment she held women accountable about anything, this is the type of reactions and responses you'll have. So my question again, what Anna said is, if you behave like this when women say it, when Black women say it, we can't even discuss what happens when men say it. What Anna's saying is, and it sounds like y'all are making it seem like nobody is allowed to say anything about y'all individually or collectively. What you about to say, Anna?
And that's the thing. We are normalizing dysfunction. Like it is normal. We normalized it long enough. So now the women think that it's normal. They honestly do. They honestly do. And look how it's even put on social media, even when it's the celebrities. I mean, the celebrities put it out there and we normalize it. But we don't, but you know what they don't normalize? We don't see the consequences on social media. We don't see the consequences a lot of times on TV.
Bro, I appreciate you saying that. Because it's bold of you as a woman, and especially a Black woman, to even engage in this stuff, because it's like these people are vicious, man. They're trying to take people's jobs, get their channels taken down, stalking people. Like this stuff is insane. And I'm thinking about it and I'm like, why is it that the group of westernized women are struggling? Y'all aren't getting the outcomes y'all want. And y'all keep being told the problem is always one side of the aisle. And I'm like, all right. According to them, because I don't just suck up to women and don't tell them everything I want to hear, I'm not qualified to speak on relationships. So I'm going to cover these super chats and then I'm going to give an example how if somebody like me and Taylor Chandler and many others aren't qualified to speak on this or talk to or about women or Black women specifically, then like you said, then who is? Nobody. So a couple quick super chats real quick, just the eyeball. Trey's in the building. Appreciate you for the $1.99. Black women will continue to trauma bond. Yeah, man. I think that across the board, I think a lot of us Black men and Black women do a lot of trauma bonding. And I think that's why our community and relationships often look the way that they do. But as a trauma specialist, there's work to be done. And I do genuinely believe that as more and more people wake up to what's happened to them, their decisions, owning and acknowledging that how their decisions got them here, that means your decisions can get you out. And I'm like, it was a quote I came across recently. It was like, when a woman sees herself as a good woman, any critique is going to be seen as an attack to her morality, as an attack to her ethics, as an attack to her being seen as a good person. Because when you're in your mind, when I'm a good woman, he's a bad man. Men ain't ish. I'm a good person. I know I'm a good. When you keep telling yourself that, when you hear something that now creates that cognitive dissonance, now you're going to have to figure out, either they're going to go to the one extreme of now I'm worthless, now nobody wants me, or they're going to lash out at the person that's saying something. There's place in the middle. There's place in the middle, y'all. And this is the goal of what me and Anna are going to try to get y'all to is, I don't want you to walk around in misery forever, that there's no men that want you or will deal with you. But I don't want you to keep walking around thinking that your ish don't stink and there's nothing to change. I'm going to tell you this. If every woman that's watching this, if we ask the question, does every single man deserve a wife? Every woman would, of course not. Every man don't deserve a wife. Who do you think he is? And you got to bring something to the table. They get that. And then when we say, well, ladies, does every woman deserve a man or a husband or boyfriend? And a lot of them won't realize what the trap was. In order for you to even carry in your head the thought that you deserve anything, how would you might have to carry yourself for that to happen? What do you have to quote unquote bring to the table, which a lot of y'all don't even think exists because y'all think y'all are the table.
Exactly.
Come on, ladies. Y'all better wake up. And then Shannon Summer, hi, Anna with the banger for, oh yeah, the $49.99 banger. Somebody showing love and showing support. Listen, y'all, if y'all have not subscribed to Anna's platform at Red Talk Anna, please make sure you do. And then the last person for the super chat for now, Duffy Main 0590. Appreciate you for the $5. If Dr. Cheyenne Bryant talked to women like Kevin talked to men, they'd have burned her at the stake a long time ago. Yeah, man. Like, I'll say this. If Dr. Cheyenne Bryant talked this way from the beginning, most women would have never followed her or liked her.
You know what I say? The representative only is going to last for so long. Your real personality will always come out. I don't care who you are.
This is crazy. And, you know, I got a couple more clips that I wanted to go through real quick. So, guys, again, if you haven't, please make sure that you like this stuff. Make sure you subscribe to our channels. Become members. My membership is really cheap. You know, Anna, she might got the expensive memberships, but I got cheap. I got a $2.99 membership for everybody that wants to show love and support the channel for sure as we continue to build. There were two things I wanted to kind of touch base with you before we hit these additional clips and then get to the finale when it comes to Taylor Chandler and her back and forth with an academic woman, tribe over truth and social competition dynamics. I think these are both really, really important things that are playing so heavily into why all these female commentators and life coaches and matchmakers are saying this stuff finally out loud in the public. Tribe over truth, you know, we kind of alluded to it earlier. Group loyalty will basically override honesty, right? And the rules are simple when it comes to the sisterhood for why this dynamic is even created. You don't air out dirty laundry, and you're supposed to have my back no matter what. Now, if that rule was just for in public, I could understand that. I honestly can understand that. I can get it. If the accountability and the challenges are happening behind the scenes. But they're not. How do we know they're not? Because looked at all the women that were standing next to Dr. Cheyenne Bryant at that Jeezy concert. Partying, living it up like she wasn't wearing a bathing suit in the public realm. So if you say, well, we shouldn't talk about women in public or talk about black women or talk about this group or that group, but is the work being done so that we can see less and less of the things that everybody's talking about in public? Is that happening in private? No, it's not. What you think?
It's definitely not happening. That's why I call them the untouchables. They don't care if they're in, like, they just want to be right. That's what people don't understand. They just want to be right. They don't care if they're going the wrong way. Even if you're going the wrong way, we want y'all to turn around.
Yes.
They don't even want to turn around. They're pressing the gas. They're pressing the gas like Thelma and Louise going off the cliff. They don't care.
Doubling
down.
Down.
That's the sad part.
Doubling down, hitting the gas harder. And I'm like, to what end? To be a side joint? To be one of many? To be in the rotation? What's the end goal? What's the end goal? Is it, and I'm not one of these type of dudes that's just like, oh, you're just going to die alone. Like, I think a lot of men and women aren't scared to do life single anymore. And again, people can find meaning, but the problem is, I think a lot of those people are resorting to that because they've never thought about the idea of their contribution to the outcomes they're experiencing. A lot of you ladies that are divorced, a lot of you ladies that are single, a lot of you ladies that are perpetually in and out of the dating pool, at best, your decision making and mate selection is poor. At best, if you can't get it right after 20 years, 30 years of being an adult, listen, man, I'm going to tell you, if somebody's a bad driver and they keep getting in the car and coming back and there's always a new dent, you don't get to keep blaming the other drivers on the road forever. So every time, all 5 accidents in the last 2 years, was somebody hitting you? Or you just riding the wrong way on the highway? Or you don't know how to parallel park? Or are you getting in vehicles and not knowing how to operate those vehicles and then blaming society and other drivers for why your vehicle looks so messed up? That's how y'all are treating yourselves in the goddamn dating market, ladies. If you are a woman, if you have an IQ that's not in the single digits, if you know how to carry yourself well, just in terms of not looking like you just woke up out of bed, by default, you're going to have men that's interested. If you are at 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, I'm seeing the pop the balloon challenges of women in their 60s overweight, popping balloons to sound like women in their 20s. When y'all gonna wake up? I'm not saying the whole issue is just y'all, but y'all definitely a huge percentage of it, ladies. Anna, if you had to put a percent on it, right now between the issues with men and our issues, when we got some, and the issues with ladies in the dating market, what's the percent of women's responsibility for what you think is wrong right now? What's the percentage you would place on the side for the ladies?
I would put about 75.
Oh my God. 75%?
The reason I'm gonna put 75 is because from my perspective, from what I am looking at, even when it comes to women divorcing the men and taking the kids, I'd be like, where are you going with 3 kids? And it's not over a crime or nothing. I'm like, where are you going 50 pounds overweight and with 3 kids? Who's about to take you and this man's kids to the movies? It's not logical. So when I look at stuff like this, a lot of men don't want to leave the situation. They will sit there and stay. They will say,
yeah, like dummies in hindsight.
Yeah,
And what's crazy is, if I was to lower that percentage, I would lower that percentage only because so many of the ladies can act that way because men are enabling it. In order for women to live in this type of delusion, there has to be men that thinks it's acceptable. There has to be. We are filled with so many weak men in this culture right now. That explains why women feel like men are not only an option, but that they don't have to adjust to the men that they claim to want. Because like when women say, well, you want another man will, they mean that all the way up until a man that will commit that that will marry me. But there will be men that will pay for trips. There'll be men that will send bags. There'll be men that pays for dinners and food and Ubers. And there will be men that's going to do these things. It's the truth. So as big as that percentage is, I'm going to acknowledge men are also contributing to why that percentage looks like that. If that makes sense.
It does make sense. It definitely does make sense. But at the same time, I definitely think men have been told you have to deal with her attitude. That's just the way she is. You a weak man if you can't deal with her attitude and the way that she talks down to you. That is normal. That's not normal.
Yeah.
That's not normal.
So fellas, listen, fellas, one of the things that, the last couple of weeks when we were, semi-trending, talking about, some of these different panels and how these men are carrying themselves that are panderers, a feminized environment is one where women aren't allowed to be challenged or critiqued. So happy wife, happy life. Is that you leading the home, or is that her leading the home with her emotions and her feelings and her vibes for that day? So when somebody says, happy wife, happy life, when she can functionally say and do whatever she wants, she never has to apologize. My man, I hate to break it to you, brother, but you feminized. So that's that's what it is. And I appreciate you stating like that percentage is crazy high as it is. That's the failure of fathers. That's the failure of mothers. That's the failure of men that are still dating and procreating with women that don't need to change or improve or even truly value the men that's in their lives. And y'all still want to sleep with them and deal with them anyway.
Even how a lot of women talk to their men in front of their kids, regardless if they're married or not. They talk to the men as if they're one of the kids.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3, release them.
Listen, men, y'all time to be released from the shackles, fellas. Listen, it's 2026. There are women out there that's normal like Anna. There's women that are normal that can apologize, that do take accountability. Fellas, we got to stop going for the Instagram thotties, for the IG bops. We got to raise our bar and standards, because the same men that's in these chats that's talking about the women ain't this, the women ain't that. Don't let me look at your subscriptions. Don't let me see who you follow, fellas. You know what, fellas? I may do a little challenge. I may look up, I'm gonna tell my wife the challenge now. I may look up a whole bunch of different female adult actresses and sex workers. I may look them up, and I'm gonna see if there's any mutual friends following my page and following them. I'm thinking about screenshotting this and doing the episode and saying, "What's going on here, brother?" Hey, I'm serious. You know what? I'm a wifey. So if I'm looking it up for research purposes. Red Talk Anna gave me permission. So if you need to challenge me for why I'm looking this up. So guys, if you're in the chat, please make sure that you like, subscribe to our channels if you haven't done so. Somebody posted, Lando said, we got 300 plus people here watching and we haven't even hit 200 likes. So guys, if you haven't, please, if you like this stuff, if you're enjoying, if you think it's helpful, please make sure that for sure that you like and share and send to every woman that you know. We're actually at 385 people concurrently watching. So guys, if you share it and send it, if each of you that's watching right now send it to one person, just like that, we probably can clear 400 or even 500 plus people. So send it to guys and to the ladies, send it to the young girls, the women that's in your life. This is extremely, extremely, extremely important. And there was something, and this was a comment, and I'm glad somebody brought this up, and I wish I had pulled this up, and I will in the future episodes. They turned against Claire Huxtable. That's when I know most of the damn hope for women in general, and especially in this community, was lost. When y'all turned against Claire damn Huxtable, when she was talking about how we were carrying ourselves and how we were dressing, and y'all said, who want to listen to that old woman? Are y'all serious? So when I asked before and you said nobody.
All caps, nobody.
They turned against Monique, Claire Huxtable. Now let's get to my background, because we already done established that famous people can't speak on it. Women can't speak on it. Pastors can speak on it, kinda. But then if you talk too much about it, y'all ain't gonna come to church no more. My background, although I'm a specialist with men and especially with trauma, I worked with children, worked at schools. My first counseling sessions, believe it or not, even as an intern, was actually with couples. And I was thrown into the fire with having to learn how to understand both men and women and the dynamics within the marital or couples counseling dynamic. And when I would work with them individually, I would see how they show up when I would work with them together, and keeping families together, keeping couples together, dealing with domestic violence cases, cheating cases that you thought, oh, this is bad, they're not going to recover. And then 4 or 5 years later, they're sending me pictures post their wedding with their first newborn. Like this stuff. And what's crazy is like, I have, I think, over a 90% success rate when it comes to couples, working specifically with couples. And despite that history, from working in universities to to prison, to couples work, to family therapy, to running programs, to managing multi-million-dollar budgets and grants. None of that matters to a lot of the women who hear something they don't like that I gotta say. And I'm like, y'all, I got a question for you. If a licensed trauma therapist who specializes in working with men, but has substantial experience of working with couples, referred to by other professionals, even professional female therapists, are my clients with their husbands, and they are success stories working with me, who else should you trust? Unmarried people? Men that you don't like? Sorry, men that you would never take seriously unless they told you what you want to hear? Who else is actually qualified in this space to talk about men and women, interpersonal, intersexual dynamics and relationships? I'm curious. Of course, there's other professionals and people even higher credentialed than me. I'm just suggesting that, like, y'all better be careful. Y'all gonna get to a point where all y'all old, all y'all unhealthy, and then the scenario of sharing a man won't be seen as a joke anymore. Where y'all gonna be reaching out to wives and girlfriends asking about part-time gigs if you can cook twice a week. That's coming, ladies. That's coming. So realize this, man. If you're on the team inside of people that attacks everybody, attacks the Claire Huxtables of the world, the me and so many other people, then what you're basically communicating is not only can you not handle the truth, you don't want the truth. You don't want the truth.
Uncomfortable truth.
You don't want the truth. And when I mentioned earlier about the social competition dynamics and why it is that I think this stuff is so rampant, of why they're fighting each other and they got to attack each other so much. Sometimes accountability reveals certain things. And it can reveal really vicious things about the person who's receiving it, or even the person who's offering it. And in either way, whether it's envy, insecurity, status shifts, feeling dismissed, etc., once that happens, then you're going to see the instant things. Label her something that you know is going to be negative, dismiss her, and attack her tone. Play with the tone. Always, this was big with Kevin Samuels. It's not what you say, it's how you say it. We all revealed in 2025, 2026, y'all don't give a damn about tone. Y'all dismiss what they got to say. He don't know what he talking about. He a fake therapist. What the hell did I just say? What did I just say about the last 12 years of my life and what I've done and accomplished? The households and marriages and couples who literally made it to the finish line and made it to the aisle and are still together to this day, whose kids are still in their life, whose marriages have recovered, whose wives and women who, because he couldn't say what needed to be said, I was his mouthpiece to get him the momentum of getting him to where, changing her perspective about how she's been treating him so that she can understand how much she's been destroying the very relationship she claims to want and be in. They'll dismiss everything about you. Your pedigree, your credentials, your background, your experience, whether you're married or not. And how do I know this? Because they won't dismiss the people who have none of those things if they like what they're hearing. What the hell is wrong with y'all? Ladies, y'all better get it together. Y'all better get it together. So I have two more, and I want to see, and this is somebody we're pretty familiar, you're pretty familiar with, I'm sure I've come across her work. So let's play this.
At this point, I am here to listen because I just don't understand why. Why do you guys support this degeneracy? Can someone help me? When someone like myself talk about this and talk about how disgusting it is and talk about how Black women need to be better and do better things, make better decisions, I am the bad guy. But you guys allow her to get on stage and play with her. I don't even need to say what she's doing. It's disgusting, okay? We should not be supporting people who represent us like this. Can you imagine what other races of people think when they see this? And you have to understand why people start to look at Black people a certain type of way. When we allow this behavior, we're clapping and we're selling out tours. What does that say about us as a community? What does that say about our values and the things that we care about? What does that say about how we think of our women? We have to do a better job at representing ourselves better. We cannot support dysfunction. It is redundant. And I understand it's not fair to judge a whole group of people based off of what the minority of them do. But when we sit back and let her behave like this, we let people behave a certain type of way in our community, that makes us complicit. That tells everybody else that we are okay with this, especially when we're clapping and we're blasting the music and we're supporting it. We have to do better.
To experience a huge problem recently. I've realized that you men have dealt with it your entire life. Communicating with women is fucking impossible. Here's the problem, you can't be honest with them. One thing I've learned from studying men is that you guys are often very honest with one another. At least amongst yourselves, you say what needs to be said rather than what someone wants to hear. And that's because it's also what you would want to hear. But women cannot handle the truth. The truth often sends women into an absolute frenzy because the truth can often be offensive and our first reaction is always emotional. I've experienced this firsthand. My friends ask me for advice all the time, and I've never felt more like a girl than when I'm scared shitless to tell them that they might be the problem. I know it's what they need to hear, but because I know how much it would hurt me to hear that, I hesitate to say it. And I don't think men struggle with this as much. So what's the lesson for men? Be aware of this reality, but do not sacrifice your honesty. Even though women are offended by it, it's still the best thing for them in the grand scheme. A good woman will appreciate honesty, even if not immediately. I know I certainly do.
Shout out to Keith Sweat for the song Nobody. Like Red Anna said, that nobody is allowed in this space apparently to be able to tell women what it is that they need to hear. The first clip, what's your initial thoughts about what she said, or what we're seeing from your honest opinion?
I mean, this woman is disgusting, but this is what we do. We protect this crazy behavior. If we have Secret Service, and when I'm saying we, I'm saying as far as women protect this as if they got Secret Service around any kind of accountability. Criticism is wrong to them. Like
Shout
there's
out,
no
and shout out to
reason.
shout out to Carmen JC for that. She be hitting it hard. She be
Yes, she
y'all
does.
think
I
I'm
like
rough.
her.
Oh my God. I said I don't never want to get on Carmen bad side. and go ahead, continue. What would you say?
I was just saying, but this is another way. Like we're protecting this bad behavior. There's no reason why a woman should be doing Jimi Hendrix between her legs on stage. Like this is crazy to me. But look, they pedestalize Cardi B.
You know
And
what
this
it
woman
is?
has hit every single wall that she can hit. It
Bro.
doesn't matter if she's rich.
Bro. Why we gatekeep the wrong ish? How we gatekeep that? Like, bro, one of the things that I'm realizing, man, and she said it again in that video, Carmen said it again in that video, it's like, y'all see that and then attack the woman right after that's saying this is a problem. I've said it before, and I'm saying it to Black people, I'm saying it to everybody on the far left. If you didn't have a problem with what you saw on the stage, but you have a problem with the person that's saying we shouldn't do this and we shouldn't celebrate this, this isn't right, this is making us and our community and our women look bad. What you're communicating to the people around you and to society and the culture as a whole, and really to the rest of the world, is it's actually acceptable for us to be viewed like what we saw on the screen with Cardi B.
Well, Jeff, they won't take the bonnets or the pajamas off.
This is what's acceptable. This is what's acceptable. The bonnets at the airport, the coochie guitars. This is what's acceptable. What you're basically saying is standards, ethics, morality, the desire for us to just be excellent. Those are the things that's worth debating and arguing and fighting about. But this is what's acceptable and is fine for us that we don't have to get upset about. You're basically saying this is what our women are good for. Y'all almost made me cuss when I'm about to say it. What you're looking at on the screen is the Michael Jordan of the bops in culture right now. This is what y'all saying is the woman to look up to. And the wild part is she's already rich and successful. So then what's happening is you're getting women that are educated and are economically successful who think that they can still do this. Listen, man, y'all, I hope that y'all are enjoying this, and I hope that y'all are getting something out of this, and that we are really, really going in the weeds of what this type of stuff, how it looks, how bad it comes off. Ladies, we have to get better. If you don't want to hear from me, if you don't think my qualifications or my style, my approach, my tone is it, I'm sure that there are countless other people, but a lot of y'all going to therapy for years with therapists who don't tell you the truth. I'm gonna be honest with you. If you're going to a therapist for years and your outcomes ain't getting better, life ain't getting better, you're not meeting the goals you're looking at, and things are, I've seen people say things got worse when they start going to a therapist between them and their significant other.
Do you remember all the therapists that was on Kevin Samuel's show? Remember, he was like, "You're a therapist," and they was like, "Yes." Like, they still didn't get it.
So when I said 6 months ago, when everybody started, finding out about my channel, and I said most therapists are bad, most therapists are highly immature, most therapists are functioning out of emotionalism and solipsism and not thinking from multiple different lenses and multiple different theoretical models to make sure that they're making an appropriate judgment when they're meeting with a man versus a woman, the type of man, the type of woman, and the dynamics that's happening in the counseling session. They're just siding with the woman. They're siding with the woman, and more people and more women are going to therapy in this country than ever before. And look at our relational dynamics. Look at the marital rates. You got a bunch of broken, unhealed, immature women that sounded like the lady that was arguing about the matchmaker. That's how they treat therapy. If they love therapy, be careful, gentlemen. Be careful, ladies. If you love your therapist so much, I recommend it to all my friends, but is your life changing? Are things getting better? And if it's not, if she were to tell you the things that you need to hear, would you still like her? Would you still keep coming? Can't tell you about the cases where therapists have told me they did 2-3 weeks worth of couples therapy, and the moment they started to put more of the attention and onus on her, the initiator of the therapy, I don't think I like this therapist no more. I think we need to try a different therapy. Ladies, you can't keep running. If a therapist can't say it, if Dr. Cheyenne Bryant can't say it, if Claire Huxtable can't say it, come on, y'all. Like somebody, you have to, y'all. You have to. Let me check out these super chats. Go ahead.
Now, I was just trying to say we need more men in the field. It's like 80%, like in psychology, it's like 80% women, right?
A lot of men are completely staying away from it. Listen, I'm probably working my way out. And the reason is because the avalanche of consumers and the people who are the practitioners who thinks this way is way more common than I think you realize. It's a lot. It's bad. And it's a ideologically captured field, and a lot of men are now realizing it's a death sentence if they have to go in for a couples therapy and they can't choose or find the right therapist very quickly. It's a death sentence. It's a death sentence because it contributes to solipsism. It actually doesn't interrupt narcissism. Egos are out of control. The things we're seeing on screen with what they're talking about is also happening in the counseling sessions. This is happening in the therapy sessions for a lot of people, where they're only rocking with the therapist that they like, make them feel good. And then when it couples therapy, same concept. Man, we gonna see. So real quick with the super chats, just to see who all is else in the building. We did static trading with J69. I think we did. Yes, sir. I appreciate you for the 10. Who else we got here? Duffy Man. If Dr. Bo, we covered that. Thank you. Micah Malice, we covered. Free Agent ATL. Appreciate you, good sir, for the $2 sticker. Oh, Mr. Smeller Roses, go Anna. Hey, shout out to her.
Thank you guys.
Yeah, AJ's curious. I'm just curious to hear Anna's thoughts. Thank you, sir, for the $2. Crook 6218, $10. Yeah. Anna. Okay, Anna, don't steal all my super chats now. Wait a minute. Who else we got? Trackstar, welcome. Can you make an episode about asking your partner about getting tested? Oh, okay. There's a STD epidemic in ATL, and they are keeping it hush to make money from the treatment. It's crazy. People are afraid to ask. Yeah, man. That's a good concept. I think I'm going to take a note on that and see if my team, is willing to make a thumbnail from me and how quickly we could put something like that out, because it is pretty prevalent. And then Trackstar again with the $10. Cardi B won't even let her daughter see or hear what her content. She blocked her daughter from hearing or seeing her content, so she know what she's doing is negative. She's just doing it for the bad. And my wild part is this, man. A lot of these people that's putting this stuff out to the public, they know it's not good enough for their own kids to consume. And it's wide open for y'all and y'all kids. Wide open. And they know. Elliot Roberts, $39.98. Thank you for the $2. Winter is here. Jeff, let him freeze. Listen, man, I'm trying to defrost the situation before it's too late. Anna is trying to bring the embers and the fire and the tools, the gas. Like, man, we trying to keep the fire afloat. Anna, from your perspective, I know that, people will hop in your comments and call you all type of names, but do you believe that you're having any type of impact with some of the ladies? And hold on, y'all. We're at 398 people concurrently watching on my end. So please, y'all, send it to more people. Let's listen, send it. If you're watching, I'm begging you, please just send to one or two other people. Let's get it up to 400 plus. But Anna, back to that question. Are there women reaching out to you? Are there?
Yes. Yes. I just had a lady reach out to me not too long ago. She's like 65 years old. And she honestly said she always thought it was more of the men. And she said, when I start pointing out different things that a lot of women are doing, and I was showing her, like, no, they popping these men's balloon in real life. And they're not realizing their reality. Like, because all they focus on is the social media and entertainment of it. Like I said, they're not sitting in their consequences.
Yes. Yeah.
So, and when she said that, she was like, I'm really seeing that. Wow. She said, women are so picky. She was like, women are really, and I was like, and they have no reason to be, there's no reason for average women to turn down average men. And at 65 years old, she said she never looked at it like that.
Yeah. And again, when you're running around being told you're the prize, why would the prize need to improve? So
and
that
princess and queen with no kingdom.
No kingdom, no king. Don't respect the man that's in their life. Ma'am, listen. I just see one more super chat here. Reiki Media 773. Thank you for the $5. When this behavior is displayed in public forum and within the known mega churches, it has become normalized. Yeah, man, it's been rough to, it's been rough. My 1 year doing this, it's been trying. There's been relationships that are different personally. There's been, I don't know how many people then called me sexist or misogynist or that I hate women or black women or whatever. So it's I was semi-prepped for, like, you can prep yourself for it in a way, but it's another thing when it's actually happening. Like, it's actually the flood of DMs and comments constantly, and how that kind of plays into your real life, man. It's tough. And shout out to Lucky Marie pulling up, showing love for sure. Gonna be doing an interview with her very soon this week in the next, let's say, 48 hours. So stay tuned for that announcement of when we're gonna go live. It'll be on this Thursday at a particular time, which we'll be announcing tomorrow. So stay tuned for that, y'all. It's going to be exciting to get another interview in. So I'm going to give a real quick video, and I'm going to give the context to set the table.
Okay.
For those who have been on my channel before, or even maybe those who follow her, the licensed professional counselor, Taylor Chandler, she holds women accountable. And a lot of women don't like it. And she talks a lot to Black women, especially. And the results have not been pretty. And not only is it the regular, normal, everyday women that are now commenting and reaching out and flooding to her. And I warned Taylor, and I told her, if you keep talking and saying things about women that they need to improve on, they're not going to interpret you as an ally or friend. They're going to say you in the manosphere and is male centered. Now, Taylor got smoke for the men too, quiet as kept. But what was interesting was Dr. Tressie kind of pulled up, this PhD researcher kind of pulled up and kind of challenged Taylor when it came to her challenging women, and specifically Black women, about their weight and their need to prioritize their weight more often. So I'm going to play this a couple of these things real quick, and then we're going to, see it, what you think.
You are not qualified for this conversation. You keep misrepresenting data to shame Black women, I suspect for likes. Listen, if anybody wants to meet me synchronously on live and you want to make me look like a fool, I absolutely welcome you to. If you want to come against anything that I've said, if you think that I've put out data or numbers that is distorting information and like you think I'm trying to do something bad to Black women, if you think that I just have a bad heart and you want to get me in public, please come on, anybody can pull up and let's do it. Now, if you think I'm doing something for likes, if I wanted to get likes on social media, I would just show you my body. Okay. That would get some likes. Talking about data, numbers, and social issues, social cultural issues, and marriage in the Black community hardly gets likes. In a sweatshirt, hardly. Sometimes you just don't want to hear what I have to say. That's it. Dr. Tressie, update y'all. Good morning. Look, I got word that she was on her stories talking about me. So I checked it out because it's like you're talking about me, but you won't talk to me, even though I invited you to this open conversation and you're questioning me and critiquing me. But anyway, so I went on her stories. I looked at it. It's about a 10, 11 minute talk. The stories disappear after 24 hours. It was getting close to that 24-hour mark. So I screen recorded it so I could look at it. And I think we should all look at it. So I did a reaction to it. It's on my YouTube now. We'll be curious to see your comments, see what you see, and what you think. Check it out.
One of these posts was using the data that I'm somewhat familiar with about scarcity and resource scarcity and the body composition and weight, BMI basically, of women and mate selection in the mate market. Again, I'm somewhat familiar. And her conclusion from that data was that men prefer thinner women and fat Black women got to stop complaining basically about not finding marriageable partners if they're going to be fat. Now, I might be oversimplifying her point, but not by much. And I think the young lady has the...
Okay. So this is what I did say. There is a correlation, a link between men who like big women and men who lack financial stability. You're right, and there are studies that show this. I'll highlight this one, showing that when men are financially dissatisfied, they prefer heavier women. And when men are financially satisfied, they prefer thinner women. Study also shows that when men are hungry, they prefer heavier women. And when men are satiated, they prefer thinner women. Like literally when men are having a physiological and in-body response to a lack of resources like food, so they experience hunger because there's not enough food, they prefer heavier women in those scenarios. Okay, interestingly enough, these same differences didn't occur among women, which might explain part of the reason why many women have a hard time wrapping their mind around this issue, because their preferences don't fluctuate in the same way in these areas. I'm going to be highlighting a lot more of these research articles and data so that we can stop arguing with facts.
So I didn't say anything about fat Black women needing to shut up. It was about men who are resource scarce prefer women who are bigger. They prefer thinner women when they are financially satisfied, is the way that the report put it. I linked the report so anybody can go read it themselves. I screenshot it, put it on the reel so anybody can go look it up themselves, even if they didn't read the caption, to see what the article was, the research article was. I said nothing about fat Black women needing to shut up. I have never said fat Black women need to shut up. I have never said that. So, if I want to be overly fair, she did not say that I said it literally. She said she said maybe I'm oversimplifying it, but not by much. And absolutely she is. Not just, I think it's not even oversimplifying it. I would say a more accurate thing for her to have said was maybe I'm misrepresenting it because that's what you are. You are misrepresenting it. You are misrepresenting me. And to be overly fair and I think past fair, to be gracious, I'm going to play the reel that I think she probably commented on this too, because she's been on my page for weeks saying stuff. And this is what Black women are the most single, and we have the biggest women. How do I know we're the most single? Real quick, y'all, here are the marriage numbers. Among all US adults, 49% of women are currently married, compared to 53% of men. 27% of Black women are married, 49% never married. 34% of Black men married, 50% never married. 31% of Black people married, 50% never married. I'm reading all that for the record. I want you to focus on this one stat today. 27% of Black women are married, 49% never married. Okay, just focus on that stat. You compare that to all in the United States, like 48% of all people in the United States are married, and Black women are 27%. That's a huge difference. And we're going to focus on body and the way that impacts this number today, although we could talk about other things. Most men want a woman they are attracted to, who could carry and care for their children if they choose to have children. They want quality of life and know that being with a woman who is not physically fit will greatly impact that. Your health is wealth. So being unhealthy, too fat, too big, okay, effectively makes you broke in that regard. I'm making the simple argument that if Black women were more physically fit, their chances at marriage would increase. It wouldn't solve the whole problem. Again, the attitude and mindset need to match up. Too many Black women, 8 out of 10, are at least over a normal weight, or are at least overweight and can even get into obesity. If you want to account for some of you with a whole bunch of muscle, okay, let's take that down to 6 or 7 out of 10. I will give that to you for the sake of the argument. It's still too much. That means that more than half of you, let's say 60 to 70% of you, are actually just too fat, are actually just like truly, genuinely overweight and obese because of fat on your body. Are y'all following me? Too big to fit, generally fit what a man, especially a high quality man, are we talking about someone with good character? We're talking about someone who, yes, is financially able to support you and the family. Yeah, I mean, men who want to get away from providership in a traditional sense, you're not the man for this group. Okay, just like women who don't want to care about their body, you're not the woman for this group.
And now, mind you, she showed us the real video that started all of this, right?
Mm-hmm.
You saw her presentation.
Mm-hmm.
You saw how she broke it down. You saw how she said losing weight's not going to fix everything, but it absolutely can help. And then you saw the reaction and response from the experts, which I will speak on more at a later date. What do you think about this whole situation?
I honestly don't understand why we are fighting so hard to be unhealthy. Like, that's not normal to just be champion, trying to have diabetes and high blood pressure and swole ankles. That's not normal. We are normalizing 300 pounds. Like I said earlier, when somebody starts losing weight, they go, you getting too skinny. Do y'all ever tell them they're getting too fat? Do you ever? I've never in my life seen this in my life. The kids are bigger than what they need to be. Their teenagers are walking down the street looking like Precious off the movie. No, there's no way you're going to convince me that that's the way to go. That's not normal. It's not healthy. Forget vanity. Your health.
Jesus. My God.
Your
Like,
health.
bro, like you... how else could she have said it?
It doesn't matter which way she says it. If women are going to be offended, especially if they're bigger women. They just are.
Which keeps us in mind to this particular individual who Dr. Tressie, who started it up, she, for those who aren't aware, wrote a book called Thick, where she did a lot of explaining why weight shouldn't be on a priority list, apparently, for women, or specifically Black women. And I'm like, she's claiming that Taylor isn't qualified, right? And I got a question for everybody that's watching this. Feel free to send it to Dr. Tressie if you see fit. Because again, it's the same challenge that I get, where if it's been my job for 12 years to counsel people, to help marriages, Taylor's doing the same exact thing, doing couples retreats, doing couples conferences, constantly doing trainings every 1 to 2 years to make sure that we're renewing our licenses. We're doing a lot of the work that's relating to the very subject matter we're talking about. And then we get these people with these degrees or opinions with no real background relating exactly to what we're talking about, outside of the fact that she personally was big. And I'm like, so when you big and you a black, you historically was a big black woman, and you didn't like how you were perceived or how the media covers things. I was like, there's a space for what she's talking about. But when you're telling a person like Taylor, she's not qualified to speak on these things and challenge or encourage Black women to focus on this area legitimately, I'm going to ask a very simple question to the audience. You have a licensed professional counselor, Taylor Chandler, on one hand. You have Dr. Tressie on the other hand. I believe her PhD is like in research or something related to that. Who is more qualified to explain to women, and specifically Black women, and Anna, you can answer it as soon as this question is over, who is more qualified to talk to women, and especially Black women, about things that could be impacting, like diet, like exercise, and their weight, how it could potentially impact their chances in the dating market and impact intersexual dynamics in a negative way? Who's more qualified to speak on it? A therapist with a background in counseling couples and men and women and helping people through divorces, through marriage, through premarital counseling, who is also a physical trainer, that's Taylor Chandler, or a PhD in research who was big and wrote a big on embracing your bigness? Who's more qualified to speak on this topic, in your opinion?
Now, we talking in truth and logic. We know it's going to be Taylor, right?
Because I thought the PhDs were the only one that could have these say, and because you got to see the data. I know what I see. I know what I see on the scale. I know what I don't want to see in my bedroom. I know what I don't want to see walking down the aisle with me. Taylor's got it right.
And that's another way to sister code. That's another way to sister, because if you are unhealthy, and if you are living such an unhealthy life, why are you wanting the women under you to walk that same walk?
It's so much easier for you to not have to change certain things about yourself or feel a certain way about yourself if you just tell everybody else what they're doing is good enough. That's fine, sis. You ain't got nothing to worry about because you don't want them saying something to you. One of the things that I peeped in terms of like the psychological framework of this is, I think women are more susceptible to something called like an emotional contagion. There's the thing called social contagions that people, if you want to look it up and look up what it means, but an emotional contagion is where when a feeling is interpreted or perceived, and for instance, if women perceive that another woman is being attacked, they will reflexively move into defense mode, oftentimes without even analyzing the context of the content. Dr. Tressie saw what her response was, and she's reacting to something that's being placed as a message to Black women in general. And she reacted defensively to something without clearly watching or engaging in what Taylor just said. What Taylor just showed at that last clip was perfectly fine. There was no issues behind it. She made it very clear. You take it personal. You make it about you, and now you see the individual woman as a reflection of the collective, which includes you. So the way you know how far you're in the weeds as a woman with this is when you sense a woman being shamed or critiqued or receiving negative feedback, your urge is to protect first and evaluate later, if you ever even evaluate at all. If Dr. Tressie and the other Tressiadites had decided that, well, maybe instead of jumping into defense and protective mode first over protect Black women, stop talking about Black women. Okay. How about evaluate why it's even a conversation? Is there any merit? She talked about the low marital rates. She talked about in comparison to the average rates of everybody else, including your own men. She's talking about weight, you being the heaviest women in the country on average. Now, you can say weight ain't contributing. It's not a factor. You can say that. But the problem is every single thing that Taylor and every single commentator and therapist and psychologist and social worker, everything that everybody has effing said, regardless of what it was about, it was the same talking point. Leave Black women alone. Leave Black women alone. We don't have nothing to change. The men need to step up. Society needs to embrace us. Y'all gonna keep listening to these far left crazy ass feminists who thinks that their worldview of dating, the dating market and relationships is one where women should be happy and men should be subservient. That men need to constantly adjust to what she needs and that women don't need to do the same in return. We're going to stop this ish now. I don't care what your degree background is. I don't care how great of a speaker or orator you are. If you're not telling Black women the truth or the whole truth, you're hurting them. If you're writing books, if you're doing seminars, if you're doing panel discussions, we gonna give you the attention you want, especially on this channel and the people I'm gonna start to work with. And starting next week, there's a whole bunch of men in this space. We're gonna have something for you. We're gonna have something for you because we're tired of people giving half information or flat out lying to our women. And this is disgusting. On what planet does a woman that says Black women or women in general, hey, ladies, we need to check out our weight? Why is that wrong? You do. And guess what, fellas, we need to get better with our grooming. The things that the women tell me behind closed doors, the things that I've been exposed to, the things that I've heard in counseling sessions, some of y'all men are disgusting. Acting like damn children. Where these women got to treat you like to the nth degree. Brother, we should be at a place where they still shouldn't be. I'm not even going to say some of the things that I've heard that they'd be fine with dealing with some of these men. But the point is, there's accountability for all of us. No group is immune from accountability. And the group that's treated like it's being immune from accountability is the truth that has the worst outcomes in damn near every damn kind. But y'all got those degrees, though. But it's not making you more attractive. You got the job, though, but it's not making you more attractive. Unless the goal is to sleep next to your diploma every night, if the goal is to have a family, not a man with a child that you don't live with, if the goal is long-term stability, you got to start listening to either women like Taylor Chandler, Red Talk Anna, and countless others in the space, Maggie the Substitute. There's countless other people. If you feel like me and the guys are too harsh or it's not our place, that's fine. My message and my approach ain't for everybody, and I get that. But if y'all not willing to listen to Anna, if y'all not willing to listen to Claire Huxtable, the one who helped raise us, then what you're basically saying is, without y'all realizing it, God hasn't created anybody in this place to be able to, for him to speak through so that I'm willing to listen. That's basically what you're saying. God has created your life in such a way where all you're surrounded by is yes men. Anna, what's your thoughts?
You know, this is a big topic, and this is one of those topics to a lot of women. They're gonna get defensive, even though they know that they don't like being 300 pounds. They know nobody cares that you got degrees in CPAP machines. I mean, the reality is when a lot of Black women get together, and I'm sorry, and I'm gonna say it, you know where they meet up at? The restaurant. That's where they meet up at. Restaurant.
this commenter on this particular clip from Taylor that I wanted to make sure I clipped up. She said, Sherry Moore, there is a big market in telling women what they want to hear, and there are millions up for grabs. So make your coin, sis. I'm not mad at you. As women, we love content creators who make us feel like we are always right, and it's 99% of the man's fault, which in turn removes the majority of accountability from us, shielding us from the truth. I would much rather prefer data and statistics over opinions, so I can reach an objective, unbiased conclusion about what was said. And that's the truth. There is a market that's designed to not only weaponize, but monetize women's insecurities. They tell you body positivity, and now what's the Ozempic is the new trend.
And no judgment.
No, we watch, we don't judge. Like come on. And again, there is such a thing as public critique and private critique, and there's a way to go about it. But when you don't allow space for that in most of your life, that's probably why a lot of your relationships are the way that they are. When I grew up, and my mom's side of the family, I have a lot of cousins. I have a very, very large family. I got double-digit cousins. I think I had like 6 aunts and uncles on my mom's side, 6 uncles on my dad's side. Like I got a big, big amount of family. And one of the key things when me and the guys were growing up, especially when we were like late teenage years, 15, 16, 17, when we would all hang out, my cousins, male cousins, we talked about the fact that, man, when we all were young, all of us, our parents were together. And that by the time we reached high school, only one of us still had our parents together. That dynamic is so normalized to where you're having that dynamic influence women's attitudes about this type of subject matter. You're having women who don't have fathers or don't have active fathers and are being influenced by both non-intentional fathers and women who are operating out of survival, and telling these women to move in such a way to where every talking point, every suggestion, every form of feedback is designed to make them less attractive, less accountable, and less interested. You heard the one life coach say, the coach earlier say, how can you want to be with men but never study them? How can you want to be with men but you're not interested in what they think or want? And when women are now saying this and they're getting attacked left and right, bro, y'all, listen, it's sad. It's really, really, really sad. And what I've learned over the course of doing this is tone don't matter, credentials don't matter, your expertise doesn't matter. It's strictly about, like this commenter stated, it really, really is about just how you make us feel. As a woman, we love content creators that make us feel like we are always right, and it's 99% the man's fault, which in turn removes the majority of accountability from us. So listen, man, let's see. Let me go through these super chats and see if we got any more. Oh, we do. $5, the real books. Thank you for the $5. Red Talk Anna is cooking as usual. Yes, she is. She been cooking all day. We definitely got to do this some more and often for sure. Mr. Walker has pulled up for sure. My man showing love. Appreciate you, good brother. Appreciate you for the 5 and the 5 for sure. Thank you so much for that. Omni Design Studio 4966. Thank you for the $5. Who cares what women say or do? At the end of the day, a real man will select his woman to provide and protect for, and men will select always. I'm going to say this in response to these types of comments, man. Because y'all, bro, 99% of this whole episode was about women that don't give a damn about what anybody got to say, including what men think. So for the men that want successfully good relationships and healthy ones, you probably should care about what women think and feel. But thank you for the $5, brother. I'm not going to return it. it's just I don't know. I get annoyed when I get hearing this stuff sometimes so much. Like Track Star, thank you again for the $5. The whole sister code is 3 things: misery loves company, trauma bonding, and rebellion. Damn. And then last but not least, Big D. Thank you, sir, for the $5. Salute to Jeff and Anna. Yes, eating is a social activity for a lot of ladies, especially brunch. Listen, man, when I got introduced to my now wife back then and was hanging out and I saw the brunches and the DC brunches, I was like, man, a lot of ladies like going out to brunch damn near every weekend if they could. And I'll be like, listen, nothing wrong with brunch, but be mindful of how many calories you're intaking during the damn brunch. This my view. On vacation, you pick out crazy, right? Like you gonna eat, try everything. You gonna drink, eat, smoke, do whatever you gonna do. But in your regular everyday life, y'all be doing brunches like y'all on vacation during the week. I'll be like, yo, ladies.
And think about it. There's nothing you have to watch in life. You have to watch how fast you drive, your speed. You got to make sure you're on time for work.
Mm-hmm.
What is wrong with watching out for your health?
I don't get it. I don't get it. I do not get it. Anna, can you give final words to the ladies about the importance of accountability, how to receive it, and who to receive it from?
This is my perspective. If you're not going to be able to grow. You can't grow without accepting some type of accountability. How you going to move from that? How you going to move from that? Just because the culture quietly celebrates things that's doing harmful things to the women.
Mm-hmm.
You got to wake up, ladies. You're going to have to. You see what's happening. You see, reality is showing. Reality is showing. Reality is stepping in. So it doesn't matter what kind of mirages that y'all have in front of y'all's face. Reality is coming. It is. And this is why I call them the untouchables. And this is why I say sometimes we have to talk about the uncomfortable truth. That's the only way you're going to move forward.
I appreciate you for what you said. And ladies, if you walk around as an emotional untouchable, as Anna pointed out, and I'm gonna start using that, and I'm gonna make sure to quote you. Is it if it's either a happy wife, happy life, it's either your way or no way. He has to kiss the ground you walk on. If you refer to yourself as a queen or princess, you already are showing some traits or signs that this may be something that you struggle with. I'm not saying that the man that you're in a relationship with can't treat you like royalty, but be very, very cautious and careful of a lot of the terminology that's socializing you to thinking that you're better than nearly every man on the planet, where they got to do so much for you and you're the prize at the end and that you just got to exist. Why? Because it's setting y'all up for failure. A lot of y'all not going to have soft lives. Okay? Listen, y'all. Soft lives are for women that deserve it and for women that find simps that's willing to pay for it. And typically those men in the latter category are men they don't accept. So, y'all got to become more intellectually curious, relationally curious. In the manosphere, on the internet, in these types of conversations, this exists. Yes, it's challenging. Yeah, we got the jokes and the laughing and all of that, so we can laugh at ourselves. Anna ain't got no internalized misogyny. She ain't no internalized misogynist. She's not male centered. Anna's just acknowledging that there's a market to acknowledge that there's room for women to change. And she's talking to y'all directly. And I don't know how many times we got to say it. If you love them and they never once say anything that you need to improve on, they're pandering to you. Men and women. Men and women. So Anna, I appreciate you doing this with me. This was our first go around, kind of doing a co-host. I'm sure you hopefully will invite me on to be a part of one of your episodes.
Definitely.
Yeah. Why don't you tell everybody how they can support you, where they can find you, and what they can expect with your type of content and channel.
Well, I deal in reality. That's what I do. I'm over at Red Talk Anna. Please subscribe, come over. I talk about the uncomfortable truth a lot of times, but it's the truth. It's the truth. I'm not attacking anybody. I'm talking about what I'm seeing. This is what's going on. You might not like it, but it is reality.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Listen, y'all, please make sure you subscribe to her, Red Talk Anna, on YouTube, Instagram. You on TikTok?
Yes, I am. Yes, I
Yep,
am.
TikTok. She is in a whole bunch of different places. Ladies, gentlemen, please, please, please give a warm final clap and thank you to Anna. So Anna, thank you for coming through, and I can't wait to collab with
Thank
you in the
you.
future. Yeah.
Definitely.
All right.
Thanks,
All right.
guys.
Yeah, so let me go ahead and drop her down. So listen, y'all, I hope that y'all enjoyed that. It was thoughtful. Of course, there was so much more we can get into. I might want to do a part 2 to this because there was just so much detail and notes that we didn't even get to cover in terms of like trauma. How does trauma play into this? The double standards when it comes to these type of conversations, the social media amplification. There's just so much stuff in terms of this type of topics, and even down to more solutions of how it is that women can go about taking accountability. So at least I'll list these off because it makes sense to tie it in, at least with this video. Number 1, ladies, separate identity from behavior. If you cannot separate who you are from what you do, you'll think everything you do is justified. That's what that means. If you do not separate your identity from your behavior, every time someone's talking about what you're doing, how you're acting, and what you're displaying, you'll see it as a personal attack to who you are. You are not the bad weave. You are not the particular article of clothing that's on or not on at a given time. You have to separate your identity from your behavior. That's number 1. And if you can't pass number 1, you'll never accept accountability. Number 2, in terms of how to handle accountability better, ask a very simple question to yourself, especially before you react or respond. Is there even 5% of truth here? That allows you to go from making a judgment, a snap judgment that's impulsive, to one where you're now at least somewhat reflective. Because if you can acknowledge the small thing, you'll eventually see if there's bigger issues. But if you can't acknowledge the small thing, of course you're not going to acknowledge the elephant in the room. Number 3, pause before recruiting allies. Single women keeping single women single. Bitter women keeping women single. Unhealed women keeping women single. I'm telling you, before you start running to the world, ladies, before you start running back and forth and getting all these allies and people to get on your side, realize that if they're your ally and they're your friend and they're your ride or die, they might not look at your situation or this situation itself in an objective way. They may just, whatever you're feeling, they want to just confirm and validate how you're feeling. So when they're causing you to double down on your viewpoint, they're not causing you to relook at, is even 5% of this true? Are you listening to this in a way to where you can separate your behavior versus your identity? When you start recruiting allies to this stuff, a lot of times they're just going to jump on your side. They may not actually be helping you. They could be hurting or harming you. Number 4, stop equating disagreement with disloyalty. It's happening in the Black community. It's happening with Democrats. It's happening in discussions between men and women. You've equated somebody disagreeing with you, somebody pointing out something they don't like about what you're doing, or as a group is collectively doing, as now being disloyal to the group. What if it's the reverse? What if all the people who silent and only cheering on foolishness, they're the ones that's actually being disloyal? And what if it's those like Carmen JC, Taylor, Red Talk, Anna, and so many countless others? What if the disagreement and tension you're feeling is because we're more loyal to you and your image than you are to you and your image? Oh my God. And last but not least, point number 5, ladies, normalize saying, you're right, I messed up. The sooner you say that and the quicker you say that, tension comes down, anxiety comes down, trust is restored. And now we're getting off of that situation and now to how you felt, how I felt, and what we can do different so that we feel better going forward. You know what? You're right. I messed up. Separate your identity from your behavior. Ask, is there 5% of truth in this? Pause before recruiting allies. Stop equating disagreement with disloyalty. And normalize saying, you're right. I messed up. That is solution-oriented options that can actually help any person, but especially any woman, with taking accountability better. But if you never want to acknowledge somebody's right, you never want to say that you messed up, if you always want to run to the crowd to get the consensus to confirm your view, and if you're not willing to separate your identity from the behavior that's being pointed out, it'll be impossible for you to be in a meaningful, long-term, healthy relationship with anyone, let alone a man. So I hope that this episode was helpful. I'm going to now give a shout out and watch a video from our sponsor to close out, from Disabled Botanical Farms, for the healthy alternatives with helping gentlemen with the bedroom activity and boosting testosterone levels. So I am going to play a quick video and make some announcements at the end and close things out. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. Please be a subscriber. Please make sure that you like this video and content and send it to 2, 3, or even 4 people. So every woman in your life, every young lady, regardless of how they vote, regardless of how they dress, regardless of how they think, whether they agree with me or not, I'll take the arrows. Just send it. And let's see what happens. And hopefully we can, slowly in our own way kind of change the culture with episodes like this. So shout out again to Disabled Botanical Farms, man. We got a couple sponsors now, and I think we got a little bit of room for maybe 1 or 2 more sponsors as it relates to this particular channel. And I hope that this was helpful, man. So shout out to everybody that watched, that supported, that liked this particular stream. And thank you all for supporting this brand and channel. We got a bunch of stuff popping up and coming pretty soon. No Diddy. And tomorrow we're going to be doing a live stream with the fellas for our men's table episode 2. So stay tuned for that. It's going to be a good conversation. Title is I think it's like Black Men Ain't Ish. And we're going to look at the merits of these claims that women say that black men ain't ish. And we're going to look at both the legitimate and illegitimate reasons for why they have that, and what to take away from what it is that they have to say and why they think and feel that way about us. A lot of women say men are dogs and men ain't ish. So I think we're going to actually deep dive really a lot into the truth and truly try to look at it objectively. Are there things that we are doing as black men, as white men, as men, period, that's helping to create that narrative? And there's also things that women are seeing or being told that's framing why they see it that way, even if it's not matching objective reality. We're going to try to hit it from both angles. So that's going to be super exciting. On Thursday, I will be meeting and doing an episode with none other than Taylor Chandler. And that episode is going to be titled, Why Are You Single? And ladies, it'll be a call-in show. So feel free to kind of comment in the chat on that Thursday clip when we put the thumbnail up. You can feel free to email us at askabrotherpodcast@gmail.com if you're interested in doing that call-in show on Thursday and being a participant. Please make sure you're wearing clothes. Make sure you ain't doing a lot of walking around, and make sure you ain't got a whole bunch of people in the background making noise if you're going to pull up. And again, this is an opportunity for y'all to just be honest and say, your history, your background, why you're single, and me and or Taylor, depending on who you want to talk to, will give our honest to God feedback. We're not necessarily looking to go viral. It's just a space where we think these conversations can be had, and you can hear maybe a different perspective that perhaps you haven't heard from others, or even the people you've been paying to help you with these types of things. And then next week, and then like I said, Lucky Marie, we're going to be meeting on Thursday as well, earlier in the day for a live. So I will be announcing that pretty soon as well. So I'm excited, man. And we're going to have some interviews and stuff lined up. And I'm going to tell y'all this right now. Next Thursday, the battle begins. The battle begins amongst men in this space. And when me and a couple other men are going to drop this, y'all going to see next Thursday. And we're not playing. The days of just thinking that all these men can come in this space, a lot of women, BS them, take all their money and not be exposed and be the champion of being the cheerleaders of all the women who just hate this type of content. Nah. We've been watching. We've been paying attention. We've been listening. We know y'all been listening to us. So, we have no problem, unlike, some of these guys in the space who won't say names or won't point it out. We will. We're actually going to say names. We're actually going to give credit, and we're actually going to point out exactly what the problem is and how it contributes to the very dynamic of what it is that we're trying to address in our culture and in the community at large. So stay tuned. And next Thursday, I'm just letting you know that the individuals who are prepping with me for this episode, we're going to be reaching out to additional people when we get this thing locked in and loaded. And when we announce it at the beginning of next week, y'all going to want to tune in. So definitely tune in just for the precursor tomorrow for our men's table, because a lot of people are saying they're rocking with it with Darwin, Obsidian, and Dave Anderson. Shout out to those fellows as well. And then next week, man, next Thursday, I'm excited because a lot of people have been playing in this space for a minute, taking advantage. And I think some of y'all may have seen that clip that's kind of going out there for a little bit of who I say I kind of hate. I really, really do have a strong anger and distaste and frustration for people in this space who have taken advantage of women, have taken advantage of men too, but especially women. I really do. And it's time for us to make it known that these people are no longer acceptable, and putting women on game to how they've been used, how they've been lied to. And a lot of people would avoid these topics or this particular type of topic. Me and these fellas are not. We want it. We want the smoke. We want the opportunity to recognize that there is a war for the attention of women in this space. Me and the men that I'm choosing to work with, we actually care about their souls. So all the panderers, all the guys with the 80, 90% women demographics on social media, that probably means you're not telling women what they need to hear about themselves. You're telling them what you think they need to hear just about men and what they want to hear about men. And it's time that we start identifying these frauds by names. We start showing actual examples of what we're talking about and how it impacts damaging Black women, damaging white women, damaging women, period. I'm not even going to go into detail. I'm just going to say we are going to dive deeply into feminization, how it looks and plays out on social media and on the content space. There is another segment in the manosphere that's not the red pill, the Myrons, the Andrew Tates, the this guy, that. We're talking about on the other end of the manosphere. They don't even consider themselves a part of the manosphere. These individuals that have been getting away with some vicious stuff, the days of them just being allowed to yeah, we're going to see. We're going to see. So we're going to get in our bag. We're going to get prepped. And from now till next Thursday, just know that when we come out, I'm just letting y'all know you're not going to want to miss it. So please tune in tomorrow. Please tune in for the 2 lives on Thursday. And next week, just know next Thursday, we're going to be putting in a lot of work. a lot of footage, a lot of video, a lot of, you're going to see. It's time to exterminate the termites. I'm going to leave it at that. Y'all, so have a good evening. And I did see one more person. And thank you again, King Julian, for gifting 10 memberships for sure. So guys, like the video, subscribe, become a member for $2.99 per month. And I'll see y'all bright and late tomorrow. So have a good evening. I'm going to see y'all on the other side. Guys, sun out. Peace.